We are proud to announce that the construction of the new White House ballroom will begin. For 150 years, presidents, administrations, and White House staff have longed for a large event space on the White House complex that can hold substantially more guests than currently allowed. President Trump has expressed his commitment to solving this problem on behalf of future administrations and the American people.
Look, I don't like to acknowledge it. Obviously, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but promises made, promises kept. You all remember when on the campaign trail, he repeatedly would lead off his rallies by saying, no longer will the White House event space only fit a couple hundred people. No, all of you, the forgotten masses, will finally sleep confident that I'm in a baller ass ballroom. No, that didn't actually happen, but that's what he's doing. That's what his priorities are. They are going to spend $200 million. And I don't build buildings, but I'm pretty sure that when you announce a project like this and you say how much it's gonna cost, in the end, that's always as much as it costs. It never goes higher. $200 million on a tacky ass ballroom. You can take a look here. I think it fits 10 billion people. It looks like it goes on forever. On our production meeting, I said it reminds me of the place that Harry goes after he dies in the last Harry Potter movie, but that's Trump's style. So yes, $200 million. Construction will begin in the next month. By the way, they're throwing Melania Trump out of the East Wing during these renovations. That's what the headlines say. And I get that the media is trying to be clever, but he's not throwing Melania out of the East Wing. She's definitely not at the White House at all to be thrown out. So yeah, good try, mass media. But anyway, they're expecting that they will wrap it up before the end of Trump's term. It will cost $200 million to build. The president and private donors, they say, will be building it. I wonder what the distribution between those two things will be. And good, look, if private donors pay for it, I suppose that's better than you and I paying for it. That would be a big insult, us spending $200 million so he can eat shrimp or whatever. But like, if private donors are building it, that means private donors are giving Donald Trump money for something he wants. Not a small amount of money, hundreds of millions of dollars. And do we think that they'll just be doing that out of their passion for ornate ballrooms? Or will they perhaps get something in return for that? Apparently, this is all legal. Campaign finance laws have nothing to do with any of this. Seems to me like a massive possible influx of new corruption. But it's gonna be massive, boy. 90,000 square feet, nearly twice as big as the current square footage of the White House, I guess. That doesn't seem possible, but I guess it is. 650 people will be able to party there. And that's certainly something. Brett,
think about that.
Brett, okay, you make me think about it. What should I think about?
$200 million. So 450 more people can have dinner. What are we doing? Also, 650 people can fit into a 90,000 square foot place? No. According to a quick Google search, you should be able to fit like 2,600 people for dinner. What are we doing? What this is? Oh, he wants to solve this problem. What problem? There's no problem.
It's a problem. You can only put 200 people in the current one. That's basically nothing.
We want a more, like Trump wants a more inclusive White House for white tie affairs. What do we need that many extra people at White House dinners for? What's happening?
We burned enough food to feed like 1.5 million people, because we didn't want to spend the money to send it to the people or whatever. We'd have money for it. There are kids who will be going hungry across America. And we're building, to be clear, we're not building a ballroom. We're building a nicer ballroom than the ballroom they already have that isn't nice enough for Mr. Fancy Pants, the populist, the man of the people. Oh, all you elitist Democrats, you wouldn't understand what real Americans want. They want Donald Trump to be in a ballroom so big that like perspective makes the far walls converge to a point. Like that's what America has been calling out for. When they said we don't like the elites and we don't like the status quo and the establishment, they said we want a new establishment that gets an even bigger place to dance. It's madness to me. And it's gonna be finished maybe before he's done. So why would he care so much? If we're to believe he's spending his own money so that he can have it for a couple months before he leaves office, that doesn't make any sense. It certainly doesn't square with our understanding of Donald Trump.
What could you do with $200 million? No, the answer is, well, he puts his name on stuff. He wants to have the Trump something. There's the Lincoln bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, he wants his name on something forever to shore up his legacy. And that thing he's creating is bigger than the White House. That's what he's doing. But like, it's an exclusive event space. He's spending $200 million on something that's not only not for everyone. Statistically speaking, it is literally not for everyone. No one statistically is going to attend events here. No one you know, no one I know is going to get to use it ever. Unless they win the World Series.
I would put it this way. No one that anyone we know knows will be at these parties. Okay, you could go multiple. You could.
I mean, me obviously. People I know will be there.
That's
I'm
true.
more connected
some
than
fancy people. But no, it's just it's such. This is his focus. They paved over the Rose Garden because they couldn't have fancy enough events out there. Does Donald Trump, like, is there an alternate world where he doesn't inherit the business? He's not given the hundreds of millions and he just becomes the world's happiest event planner. Like, and everybody would be better off as a result of that. I don't know, but this is, again, this is right-wing populism, I guess. They build Versailles in the White House at great expense.
The model is more like the Vatican for them.
In terms of
more like the Catholic Church, where they pay a tithe through, not through buying hats and giving political donations to this guy. It uses that to increase its footprint, influence, and brand. And it's this weird prosperity gospel thing where, like, why does the Pope have to be rich?
Yeah.
If Jesus's whole thing was you should be poor and generous. Like, why does Trump if he's this populist firebrand, why does he have to be a billionaire? Why does he need to build shrine? And if you're putting the two together, why are there so many towers of Babel for his presumptuous ass to build toward the heavens?
It's because unfortunately his base, no matter how much they say they're anti-elite, they believe to their very core that rich people are better. They just do. Absolute madness. But it's not the only madness and it's not the only corruption. And when I say the corruption, I mean he's going to be telling corporations, you have to give me money for this or else. It's more mob stuff. And Fox News, do I need to ask the question? What if Biden had done this? What would you be saying?